In the words of the great Doc Emmerich, if you leave it all out there in a do-or-die game, there's nothing to be ashamed of. But it is a shame that someone has to lose tonight. That is the nature of our sport. Mountain Ridge, Notre Dame, 22 games, 2 different tales. Mountain Ridge trying to avenge their state championship loss last year. Notre Dame trying to avenge devastation over the last 4. My name's Easton Stockford. Alongside me, C. Peters and Petey. What a game, what an atmosphere here at Mullet Arena tonight for this state championship.
Yeah, you look outside here in Arizona, it's in the 70s. Doesn't look like hockey weather, but it might be even hotter in here inside Mullet. Student sections are rocking. The stands are starting to fill up. This is going to be a great hockey game tonight.
And you look at how both these teams got here. Mountain Ridge with a very difficult path. Had to upset AHSHA Perry. Down 3 going into the third. Scored with 8.7 left to take the lead and come away. Beat the defending champs to get their revenge 4-2 as well. Notre Dame stomped Flagstaff and Chaparral to get to this point. Very different paths to get here.
Yeah, I think the paths are different, and it's gonna wear out in tonight's game. You look at Mountain Ridge and what they had to go through to get here. They faced some adversity, but what it did by coming back against AHSHA Perry, it shows this team can come back. They have the resiliency to be able to come back from a deficit. So even if they find themselves down in this game, they feel they can come back. For Notre Dame, they breezed through this tournament. This could be a tougher game for them. We're going to see if they can play a complete game tonight and find a way to bring home this state championship.
And while they do have their differences, one thing they have in common is they let their big dogs eat. You look at Mountain Ridge, Camden Babin, Mason McCosh, and Brendan Phelps all lead the league in points with top 3 scorers across the league, and Notre Dame not too far off of them.
Yeah, the one thing we talk about Mountain Ridge, their top 3 goal scorers had 40 points in 13 games across the league this season. This Mountain Ridge is very top heavy. These guys can score anytime they are on the ice, and you got to look out for them when they're on the power play.
Babin and Phelps did not play. They were stuck in New Jersey for the first 2 rounds. Tate Mickey and Brady Harrock did not play as well. Dylan Shane did. Those are the big dogs for the Saints. Dylan Shane leads all of AHSHA in playoff points. Had a hat trick in the semifinal games. They are forced to be reckoned with out there.
Yeah, you know, when you talk about the top players of these teams, and you talk about Mickey, you talk about Shane, they're very even. I think this game's going to come down to the guys that are in the second, third, fourth line. Who is going to be that unsung hero tonight that's going to help their team get over the hump and bring home a trophy?
And you look at Braden Horman of Mountain Ridge, Justin Kaplan of Notre Dame, 2 guys that could definitely do that. More of a hard-working style of play for them. But 2 other people who could do it come between the pipes. Joel Bronzik of Mountain Ridge, starting between the pipes tonight, played 2 games in Boston yesterday, hopped on a flight this morning to be here across from her. Kane Wright, arguably the best goalie in the league all year long, named the team All-Arizona. Those 2 could be cornerstone pieces for both these teams come the third period and all night long.
Yeah, you look at Franzik and having to travel from Boston this morning. The key for her is going to be able to get a big save early, be able to see the puck, feel the puck, and settle down into this game. It's a long way from Boston to get here. You got to shake out those cobwebs and be ready to play. And when you look at Wright on the other end, he's been all you've asked for him all season long in the net for Notre Dame. 18-1 through the season, best save percentage, and he can clearly carry the load for this Notre Dame team tonight.
And you look at the games you've called 6 games for AHSHA now, all of them in the playoffs, seen everything of all different shapes, sizes, and colors. There's always 1 or 2 things that both teams need to do to get the job done and walk out of this building state champions. What are those 2 things tonight, Petey?
Yeah, when you work into the championship game, you've had a good season. And so either team can win this game. For Mountain Ridge, it's about their power play. This power play is running at nearly 70%. Yeah, 70%. That's incredible. When they are on the ice, they are more than likely going to score. So for Notre Dame, they got to stay out of the box. Mountain Ridge has to take advantage of those times, and Mountain Ridge needs to keep this game close as long as they can. For Notre Dame, it's about playing their game as long as they can and find a way to close out a championship game.
It's 2 teams, 2 different tales, but only one will emerge the state champion at Mullet Arena tonight. Mullets away from puck drop at Mullet Arena. We'll take you down to ice level and be back with the action in just a bit.
I do have a question for you, Easton. You played in this game a year ago, and you won a state championship with the Pinnacle Pioneers. What are the players going through right now?
They're going through a lot. This is a little overwhelming. Not often you get to play on the big sheet at Mullet Arena in front of this many people. A lot of these kids will be the only time they do it. Others might be back here next year, but that's all the emotions in the world. But got to find a way to settle into these first 5 minutes, settle into your game, and try and be calm and play inside the glass.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this starts right off the top. I think Mountain Ridge is coming with their big guns to start this game off. Got the Gomez line coming out for Notre Dame. Let's see if they start some fireworks right off the opening draw for this Mountain Ridge team.
Officials for tonight, referees Kyle Dotson, Jeremy Lackey, linesmen Anthony Caruso, and Andrew Leonardo. Teams lined up. All the chips are in, all the bets are off, and we are underway from Mullet Arena for the state championship. Notre Dame with possession off the hop. Gomez, 2-on-1 chance early, but that's broken up. Now flipped into the zone. Havarnen will go to get it. Backhanded up, kept alive by Gomez. He'll try to slip one. Stallkamp banked up high to SQ. Stanius on goal, but that's deflected wide. Now Stallkamp going to rim it all the way around. Racing to get there is Stanius. Squeaks out at the blue line, but sent right back in. Havarnen to get it. Snapped across. Here's Camden Babin, third in the league in points. His two line mates, the two above him. Dylan Shane shipping it forward. Phelps going to send it in deep. Wilson will pick it up and go off the boards. Now Dylan Shane putting it below the goal line. Lewis banked over to Chase Olsen. Line camera thrown on. That's blocked. Rattles into the corner. Now Olsen trying to dance one, but Harak able to get in the way. One of the players on this Notre Dame squad that was not able to play in the first two rounds.
Yeah, one of the things you got to look at Mountain Ridge here, they've got to find a way to break out clean. You cannot turn the puck over on your way out of the zone against this Notre Dame team. Do not give them more looks in the offensive zone.
Here's a chance the other way. Phelps might have a step, trying to get to the blue paint, but he's fended off by Tate Mickey. Now Horman moved ahead. Harak had it momentarily, but again, Braden Horman taken away. Someone Coach Sean Babin talked about as the difference makers. This one's thrown off the side of the cage by Foss.
That's great play by Mickey on that one-on-one, forcing that play to the outside with one of the best players on the ice. And it's a really good play, and those are the plays that are going to make a difference as this game goes on.
Bazinski trying to throw one on, but that gets caught up in traffic. Harak will go ahead, can't connect with Kaplan, but no icing here. Kaplan sealed to the wall, and a packed out Notre Dame student section erupting early on. Chipped ahead. Kaplan will throw one in deep. Sam Eklund racing to get there first, and he will. Wilson holding the line. Stallkamp there as well, but offsides to call. And refs getting active for the first time. I feel like we have to mention the kits they have on and the custom AHSHA red. They look unbelievable.
Yeah, we didn't know this ahead of time. Kenny didn't let us know the head of AHSHA. Those red sweaters are sharp for those referees.
It's the referees wearing the red sweaters. The linesmen are wearing the traditional black and white. So no yellow armbands tonight. A bit of a different signal for them. Varnon headed Fearley now stepping into it. Here come the Mountain Lions. Left behind. Hawkshurst will throw one on. That's into the netting and out of play.
A lot of feeling out right now, and it's what you expect in a game like this. The nerves are there for each team. We haven't seen the speed of either team yet. We haven't seen the offensive stars really come out to play yet. It's going to take some time, and it's going to be everybody feeling this out. Nobody wants to be the guy that makes that first mistake.
And those first 5 minutes are oftentimes the most important 5 minutes of the game. Got to get your goalie to make some saves, keep shots to the outside, and let them settle in, but also have to settle in yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what we're seeing right now. Everybody's staying on the defensive side of the puck. Everybody's playing smart hockey right now because, like we said, you don't want to make that mistake.
It was always first shift, take a hit, give a hit, and try and get into the game. Shot on from the point right into the gut of Caden Wright as he has his first stop of the night. Shirley centering pass for Hawkshurst, but swatted aside by Jack Wilson. Now Shane trying to stay upright as he moves it to Barlow. Shane poking it forward. He can't hold on to it as Montoya will pick it up. Moved ahead. Phillips around the outside. He'll go behind the trapezoid, and Harak able to take it away from him as Askew will dish it to Kaplan, who's able to get it across the blue. Askew ahead to Dylan Shane across for Stanius. Stanius sends it in deep. Olsen poking away at it. Mickey able to hem it in. Harlan dancing around the half marks. Kaplan doing the same. She leaves it for Eskew. Sent in deep by Harlan. Kaplan, first one there. He takes a bump, and Chase Olsen will come in support. Every hit drawing a reaction early on in this one. Was offsides the call. Will come back out to the neutral zone.
Yeah, it's funny when you talk about the physicality of this game. It's a fine line. You've got to be physical. You got to play on the edge. You want to show your toughness as a team, but you can't be in the penalty box tonight. And for either team, these power plays are lethal for both of these teams. You got to walk the line, but you can't cross it tonight.
We mentioned it a little bit in the pregame, but Mountain Ridge, the best power play team in the league by a long shot. They had 29 power play goals in the regular season and 3 in the comeback win over Bishop Perry, as that one chipped into the bench off of the dome of Weinkammer. Draw will come back inside to the right of Caden Wright, who has been the backbone for this Notre Dame squad all year long. Up to the point, Eklund thrown on goal. That's deflected wide by Phelps. Now McCoth with it. Trying to move it up high. He'll get it there. Eklund sending it back in deep, and he's ran over Freddie Stallkamp on the hit. Wesley now chugging down the left side. Gomez will try and pick it up. Wesley steps into it. Phelps takes him down, tied up below the goal line, as this one will be sent to the end boards. Stanius backhands it to keep the play alive. Gomez lets one go, tipped on, stop, Frontek, in front, scores! The sophomore, Trey Wesley, opens the score. Notre Dame leads 1-0 in the state championship.
And that one squeaks through the goaltender, and you saw the tip of the screen in front of the net. That set that play up for Notre Dame to get that one in behind. That's a tough start for Mountain Ridge.
Squeaks behind Franzak, and Trey Wesley almost hesitated a little bit as he barely tapped it on goal, but got just enough of it to get it over the goal line. Just like that, the Notre Dame out to an early lead, and Mountain Ridge in a spot they were in against Bishop Perry. Chipped out, Dylan Shane going to be the first one there. Thrown on, Franzak has that one, and she'll cover it up.
That's a big save for her after letting that goal go in, especially on a squeaker like that. I think it's important. She sees the puck now, get her confidence back up. It's only one goal. This game is not going to be decided 1-0. We've both seen these games before, and she's just got to settle down. Everything will be fine for Mountain Ridge, but it's important how they respond.
Franzak trying to settle in, and not a ton of shots for either side so far, but able to get us stopped. So Trey Wesley, who gets the first goal, as we will have a quick break and be back after this. Welcome back to Mullet Arena. Notre Dame leads 1-0 at the hands of our Trey Wesley. But you look at this Notre Dame team, Petey, and what they've been through these last 4 years. 3 state championship losses, 2 in overtime, and then blew a lead in the third period against Desert Vista in the play-in game last year. And it just means so much to this team because of those losses.
Yeah, I think getting an early lead is big for the team, but more importantly, they got to keep their foot on the gas. And we've seen this team have leads before in this game, and unfortunately seen them slip away. So that's going to be the test for Notre Dame. Can they keep up this pressure until the final buzzer?
Mountain Ridge, not a team that's going to go away easily, as Bishop Perry learned in the semifinal game. Foss, batted head. Shane will pick it up. He'll move it back to SQ. Dished ahead. Picked up and entering the zone was Harak as Shane centers one in front. Chance, big save by Franzak.
Yeah, that's a big save. This one goes down 2-0 this early in the game. Franzak back in the crease. Big save. Play comes from below the goal line. All alone out in front. Square to the puck. Big save. Keeping this one 1-0.
First 5 minutes gone. Notre Dame still leading. Draw will go to the left of Franzak as they'll try and mount on a little more with their top line out there. Mickey Harland and Justin Kaplan, the 3 up front for the purple and gold. Phelps driving wide, thrown on. That'll rattle into the corner. Kaplan sit through the middle. Here's Harlan. Over to Mickey. Mickey driving, but it just wide. Oh, up at the point. Good keep by Eskew. As Mountain Ridge will try and get it out. Phillips has Babin and McCosh with him. Working up and down the wall, looking through the seam, trying to find Mason McCosh, but can't. Here's Chase Olsen. Olsen dragged down in the corner. Babin there as well. It'll work its way up to Phillips. Phillips sent on. Glove stop by Caden Wright. He just got enough of that one, but threatening chance from this Mountain Ridge top line that needs to get going and try and get this one back.
Yeah, they need to get shots on net. They need to get something to get through on net against Notre Dame here. This top line is going to be a big key for this team.
Draw will come to the right of Notre Dame's goal. Gomez to take it. He'll win it against Babin. Coletti will try and set it down, and he will. Phillips stalked by Stallkamp. Here's Artegu Wesley again. Pulling up, kicked over. Stallkamp with it. Brady Stallkamp with an interesting story coming into this one as well. He broke his collarbone his freshman year in this game and has now made his way back in his final senior year. Gomez up high, thrown on goal. Olsen got his skate to it. Wesley trying to throw in through the middle, finds Wilson, but that's blocked down in the high slot. Babin sent far side. Phelps through the neutral zone. He slips one. Kicked out for Chase Olsen. Olsen walking to the middle, but he coughs it up. Now Gomez is trying to counter. Thrown on, well wide of the mark, as this one will be rimmed around. Steele kicked over to Stanius. Stanius trying to stretch it to Shane. He'll get it there. Shane will bring it back. Sent far side for Harak. Barlow to Shane. Shane through the middle. Now Lewis with it. Up for grabs in the neutral zone. Askew will step up. Shane will end up with it. Had 3 goals in the win against Flagstaff. Had 1 goal in the win against Chaparral, as that one ends up with Franzak.
One of the things that Mountain Ridge is going to have to do is they're going to have to protect the paint in front of their goaltender right now. We've seen a few opportunities with Notre Dame below the goal line, getting those passes out front with Notre Dame players right front. They're going to have to box out. They're going to have to defend that front of the net, and they can't leave their goaltender out to dry by herself.
Little under 9 minutes remaining in the opening period of this state championship matchup. Notre Dame leading 1-0. And off the draw, couple bodies converge. Mickey battling away. He'll move it up to the point. Stanius sent on. Rebound there for Mickey. Still loose in front. Swipe at it from Harlan, but Horman's going to come away with it. What an opportunity for the Saints.
That's another play that we just talked about, is the traffic in front of the goaltender for Mountain Ridge.
Here's Mickey, one-on-one. Lewis close on his at Mickey to the blue paint. What a goal! I don't know how Tate Mickey got that into the back of the net, but he sure did. Notre Dame leads 2-0.
And it starts with a turnover in the neutral zone that leads to the one-on-one, allows Mickey to get in. Great moves, able to pull that to the back end, just slide that by Franzak, and takes the 2-0 lead for Notre Dame.
Slid it home, what looked to be out of midair. He did it 360 in the process. And what a goal from Tate Mickey, and what a start for these Saints.
Yeah, Tate Mickey's one of those names we mentioned off the top. It's one of those guys that can help carry this team. That's a big-time play and a big-time moment.
Orman trying to respond. He slides it just wide. Kicked up, go big, unable to keep it in. He'll go over to Havarnen. Through the middle, Brzezinski charging ahead. Coletti will throw it. Horman able to keep it in. Now Gomez. Hauled in at the blue line. Gomez still with it down the left side. Stood up by Havarnen. Franzak gonna play it. Rebound for Wesley, but he fanned. He had the 6x4 looking open, but couldn't connect with the rubber. Haas will send this one into the far corner right. We'll play it to Eskew. Stanius through the neutral zone, slips one, working in, lets it go off the leg of Gobeg, who blocks it. Now Eskew, dished ahead, Tate Mickey through center ice as he'll bring this one in on the attack, trying to slip a couple hits. He's dragged down, arm in the air. Notre Dame gonna head to the power play.
Yeah, it looks like Gobek's going to go to the box for a holding on this one. It's too bad because Mountain Ridge played that very well. It was a 2-on-3. They stood up the Notre Dame offensive player, and at some point, you got to stop. You got to stop. You can't take penalties, especially when you're down 2-0. Mountain Ridge has got to find a way to play mistake-free hockey for a while, and right now, it's their mistakes are starting to pile up, and the penalty is certainly one of them.
So now an important kill for Mountain Ridge as they're trying to keep this one in striking distance. Shane, Gomez, Wilson, Eskew, and Harak out there for the Saints as they'll get the power play started. Eskew working up to the point, over to Harak. Out to Eskew, back up top, slid over to Shane. Shane throws one on, rebound there, Wilson jamming away at it, rebound still there, somehow kept out by Franzak with the right pad.
That's a great save by Franzak in a really important moment on this penalty kill. Rebound right there, she was able to cover it up. That's a big save at a big moment for Mountain Ridge.
Have to kill this penalty if you're the Mountain Lions, and Notre Dame in a good position to plant themselves firmly in the driver's seat. Draw will go to where it came from just moments ago. Wesley, the first goal scorer, for the Saints to take the face-off. Tied up in the feet. Wesley will win it, but Babin will swoop in and clear it all the way down.
It's a really good play by Babin. Babin's a kid that's going to play in all situations. He's going to be out on the penalty kill, the power play, the 5-on-5. He's going to log up a lot of ice time, especially when this Mountain Ridge team finds himself down by 2.
Guy who can create on the penalty kill as well. Led the league in shorthanded goals last year. Mickey up to the point. Harlan's going to corral it. Rolling puck, he'll flip it into the corner for Justin Kaplan. Now Mickey intercepted. Here's a chance for Phelps. Harlan back, foot race for the goal. Phelps in on goal. He scores! Short-handed goal. Brendan Phelps. Mountain Ridge cuts the lead in half.
Brandon Phelps with 44 points in the regular season. Did it all by himself here on the penalty kill. Steals the D-to-D pass. Goes all the way down. He's able to put this one in on his own. Passed right. We got a hockey game.
Notre Dame in one now. Don't want to concede shorthanded goals. We talked about special teams, but talked about how much Mountain Ridge scores on the power play, but they get one shorthanded.
Yeah, that's a big play right now. And again, it's big players making big plays at big moments. And Mountain Ridge needs their best players to be their best players tonight.
The first goal Caden Wright has surrendered in 4 periods of hockey. Shane left behind as Notre Dame will have 60 seconds to try and get that one back. Kicked back, Harak with it. He dances around one, moving in, but Dylan Sheen was just offsides.
Yeah, the momentum shifts quickly in games like this, and it's been all Notre Dame, and then a big play like that from their leading scorer makes a big difference for Mountain Ridge right now. And now, honestly, the rest of this penalty kill is huge for Mountain Ridge. Can they hold Notre Dame off the score sheet for the last 51 seconds?
Tate Mickey got one, and then Brendan Phelps able to get it right back on the penalty kill. Ice crew out on the ice. We'll be back after a quick message. Welcome back to Mullet Arena as the All-Arizona teams were announced. 4 of the players on the All-Arizona team on the ice here tonight. Mason McCosh, Tate Mickey, Chase Olsen, and Caden Wright all earning honors. And that just shows you how much talent's in this game, Petey.
Yeah, the state of Arizona and this high school league, you've seen the talent increase every single season. There's a lot of talented kids playing high school hockey here in Arizona.
Harak and Olsen tied up, two travel teammates who were just stuck in New Jersey together this last week. Harak looking through the middle. Babin got a stick to it, unable to keep it there. Now here's Camden Babin in a foot race. What a diving effort from Eskew. Babin able to take it away from Shane, but what an effort that was from Eskew to break up a chance from Camden Babin, one of the best goal scorers in the league.
Yeah, and Babin last year was in this game in the state championship, but he was hurt. He muscled through with a couple of injuries and able to play the entire game, but tonight he's healthy and he looks like he's got his wheels going.
Here he is now. Finds Phelps through the middle. Phelps in the trapezoid, dragged down by Harland. Mountain Ridge back to full strength. Shane to Harland through the middle. Chase Olsen with it. Now Olsen with a head full of steam. He'll cut through the neutral zone. Cycle down. McCosh trying to get there. He won't be able to, but he'll advance it enough for Brendan Phelps. Jack Wilson now takes it away. Notre Dame's captain. He'll kick it out. Justin Kaplan. Kaplan dicing through the middle. Kick for Justin Kaplan with a save by Franzak.
Another big save by Franzak, kind of 1-on-3. I'd like to see the defenseman close that, shut that one down. But the high-skilled player like Kaplan, you got to be careful. You don't want him to walk around you. So it played it well. Great save by Franzak.
And Franzak gave up a quick one to start this game, but she has since settled in very nicely and has come up with some instrumental stuff.
Yeah, some big saves. When you look at the chances, Notre Dame has clearly led in chances, but the scoreboard, it's still tight.
Harak on the draw. That's one back by Bazinski as Lewis will be bumped into the boards. Lewis kicked over to Horman. Harak able to keep it in. Here's Wesley cutting up. Horman able to intervene as this one will be tied up on the half wall. And Mountain Ridge able to get it out. Foss will trip it ahead. Stanius racing. Bazinski all over him. Harak will end up with it and move it to Stallkamp. Now for Wesley. Eklund able to get in his way as he'll pick it up below the goal line. Stallkamp with a crushing hit in front of Notre Dame's student section. But here come the Mountain Lions. Bazinski trying to get something going. Jack Wilson able to shut him down. Stallkamp with it again. He'll backhand it in deep and go for a change. Eklund back to chase it as Harland will shadow him. Foss with it. Zip far side. Coletti's going to pick it up. Chip forward. Eklund through the middle. Finds Steerley. Steerley throws one on. Kick save by Caden Wright. Now Kaplan blind throw to Tate Mickey, but he finds him. Mickey sachets one to the front. Battled aside by Franzak. Another huge stop. Notre Dame with a lot of offensive momentum when this line's on the ice. As that one will go down, just has enough for icing and just out of Tate Mickey's reach.
Franzak's been great after allowing the first two of this game. Solid. And again, it's a big save against one of their best players for Notre Dame. And this game could be a lot different without Franzak standing tall in the net for Mountain Ridge.
And you look at Tate Mickey and his high school experiences, has played in 2 state championships, lost both of them in overtime, and he has another level of motivation, I would imagine, tonight. Missed the first 2 rounds in New Jersey. And talked to him before the game, and he was chomping at the bit to get out there and told me he was tired of waiting and just wanted to play. Wesley walking in, pulling, trying to let it go, but Olsen able to get the fire poker in there as this one will go down and in front. Again, Olsen intercepts.
It's a nice play by Olsen. 2 really good plays. Breaks up the rush, and then he's able to block that pass coming out from below the goal line. One of the areas that we said they needed to improve on.
Now here he is on offense off the side of the cage as he'll be left behind. Here's Phelps. Phelps still to the wall by Wilson. McCosh coming in to support. That one sent all the way down by Notre Dame. Lewis racing to get there. No icing. 120 seconds left in the opening frame. 2-1 the score in the state championship at Mullen Arena. Notre Dame leads. Babin in his own end, slipping around the couple. So he'll try and create. He's taken off the puck. Shane takes a bump, but he's able to advance it. Now Phelps, the leading point getter in all of AHSHA, will kick it out to Babin. Through the middle, intercepted. Here's Dylan Shane the other way. Shane has Harrock with him, Barlow trailing. Cutting through the middle. Shane on the backhand, thrown in front, trying to find someone backdoor, but to no avail. Now a penalty coming on the play. We're going to get a slashing call here. And it looks like it's going to go against Mountain Ridge.
Mountain Ridge heading in the box for the second time tonight. Getting a goal shorthanded in the first one, but interesting. I thought there's a couple. You look at Notre Dame behind the net there. Babin, they get a stick up high on Babin. No call there. A play behind the net. Looked like there might have been something on that play. So right now it's 2-0 penalties against Mountain Ridge.
There's Camden Babin, who's going to go for tripping. One of the key penalty killers on this Mountain Lion squad as well. Minute 25 left in the period. 2-minute power play for the Saints.
I think it's important that Mountain Ridge gets out of this one without giving up another goal. I think 2-1 after one with the period they've had. I think that's a solid period for Mountain Ridge. They've got to find a way to kill this one. It's going to start with Frontek.
Mountain Ridge up +1 on the penalty kill tonight as Brendan Phelps got the party started for them. Frontek with a save, and she'll cover. Shaw will go to the left of her now. Horman out there with Montoya, Varinen, and Chase Olsen to kill this one off. Solkamp wins it back for Notre Dame, and Harland will send it down for Kaplan. Kaplan down low, Wesley. Now back to Kaplan, banked up. Harland will keep it alive. Right flank, Kaplan through the seam, can't find Mickey. Tate Mickey has kind of crept down on that left flank and let his shot fly. Kaplan trying to let one go. Olsen gets in the way, but Mickey able to keep it in. Harland through the seam. Kaplan lets it go, blocked by Olsen.
Another big play by Olsen. That's his third or fourth big play on the back end for the big defenseman for Mountain Ridge.
33 points from the back end in 13 games as well. He's the definition of a two-way defenseman.
Yeah, a big play in the semifinals to lead to the game-winning goal. He's been playing both sides of the puck tonight.
Shane driving wide. He'll head around the outside through the middle. Gomez has a high slot shot off the pipe. Beat Franzok, but couldn't beat the post. It'll leak all the way back to Notre Dame's end. Harrock now trying to make a move, but it hops away from him. And time will expire on the first period. 2-1 the score. The goal scorers for Notre Dame are Trey Wesley and Tate Mickey. Got them out to a 2-0 lead, but the response from Brendan Phelps shorthanded has been the tell of the tale tonight. It's been an unbelievable first period, and we have ourselves a hockey game, Peter.
Yeah, I think the goaltender, you look at Frantic and what she was able to do through that first period, I think she was a difference maker. I talk about the defenseman Olsen. I think he was a difference maker. For Notre Dame, it's a team effort right now, and it's really showing. They're playing as a unit of 5 when they're out there, and it has made a very big difference in their ability to get the puck off the ice. I do look for the physicality to pick up for Mountain Ridge. I thought Notre Dame was the much more physical team in the first period, and we've got to see Mountain Ridge bring that physicality if they're going to start to draw some penalties as this game goes on.
So we'll have shut the puck, we'll have a break. 35 seconds of power play for Notre Dame when they return, but don't go anywhere. We got a special guest interview coming up. 2-1 the score after one. We will be back in just a moment. Welcome back to Mullen Arena. Very special guest. We know what the stakes are tonight. This is program coach of Pinnacle High School, Gary Ayling, in the AHSHA Cup. But another stake that a lot of people often don't get to see are these right here. The last 3 state championship rings. And Coach Europe, man, is very familiar with a lot of these. 7 rings to your name across the entire program.
Yep.
When this final buzzer sounds, the champion's crown, how's that champion going to feel tonight?
Oh, God, it's a surreal feeling for any kid that gets to participate in this game. I would think that maybe about 80% of the kids that play high school hockey don't get this event and don't get to participate in this big of a game. So those that are here are lucky enough to be here, and they should feel honored, and they always do. But when that final buzzer sounds, like just the relief and everything just flows right through you, and you get to celebrate with your teammates, there's nothing better than that.
And you've been with Pinnacle for over a decade now. You've seen this game go from the Easton, Scottsdale to Oceanside, and now here at Mullet Arena, where over 2,000 people are in attendance for this game. How crazy and how amazing is it to see how far this league has come?
Well, you know, if I think back to when I first started, my first championship was at the Easton. And it was a very intimate setting. We had a lot of people, and it was loud. I just remember having to scream line changes to the kids because they couldn't hear me, right? And then we graduated to Oceanside, which is still a very intimate arena, very loud. But coming here and just seeing this amount of people here, it's an event now. I know I hear Todd Walsh talk about it all the time, but this is really special to the kids because they play at the Easton all the time. They used to play at Oceanside all the time. They don't always get a chance to play here, and especially in front of this many people. So this is a special event, and Kenny McGinley and his staff has done wonders. They've brought this program so far, and that's why kids are always wanting to come and play.
Now,
right?
On that note, with Easton Scottsdale, the games for the quarters and the semis were back here the last year or two, and going back to the Easton Scottsdale, how awesome is it to see that building packed out?
That was the best part. Like last year, I understand why we did it here because it was to fit more people, but at the same time, we lost that intimate feel because it wasn't as big as this, right? So now we get back to that at the Easton, get a louder crowd, the crowd's into it, the kids are into it, and then you graduate to this and this is what you earn. You earn this, right? Where at the Easton, it's a little intimate, but it's louder, much louder. So, well, both places are special, put it that way.
It's a special game. It's a special night for everyone in attendance, everyone playing. Coach, I appreciate your time and joining me, and always good to see you again.
Anytime,
and hoping you enjoy the rest of your night.
Anytime, Stocks. Great to see you, buddy.
Welcome back to Mullet Arena. 17 minutes down. And 2 periods left to go. 2-1 to score. Notre Dame leads. I'll tell you, Wesley. Tate Mickey, the 2 goals, scores for them, and Brendan Phillips got it back to 1 for the Mountain Lions. My name is Easton Stockford, alongside me, Steve Peters and Petey. An exciting first period, a lot of goals, more goals than we normally see in the first period of a state championship. But what are your biggest takeaways? What do these teams need to do better in these next 2?
Well, I think for Mountain Ridge, they've got to stop turning the puck over. You saw it on the breakouts early and through the neutral zone as the period started to drag on. That's when Notre Dame had their best chances. Notre Dame, it's just keep playing the same way. There's a Notre Dame team, we talked about them being deep, being able to throw out all of their lines in rotation. You're going to see if they can tire out this Mountain Ridge team by the time they get to the third period. I think it was a solid period for Notre Dame. They were more physical. They had power play opportunities, and they had more shots on goal and more scoring opportunities. So more of the same for Notre Dame, and for Mountain Ridge, they got to get the puck up the ice clean.
And you look at this Mountain Ridge team, had to overcome a lot of adversity in the semifinals. I was on the call with Dylan Pescator, and we talked a lot about lessons learned. Do you think Mountain Ridge's lesson learned in that semifinal game is going to come to their benefit down the stretch here?
Yeah, I do, and I think the message in the locker room by Coach Sean Babin is, hey, we've been here before. We've been down. We're fine. Let's just keep playing the same way. And I will say they've taken a couple penalties, but they weren't egregious penalties. They weren't penalties that we talked about crossing the line. I don't think they crossed the line. I do think this team needs to be a little more physical in the second period. I do think they need to start making it more difficult for Notre Dame to break out, and that starts with an aggressive forecheck with a little physicality on the Notre Dame defense.
And Notre Dame, 35 seconds on the power play at the start of this period, 0 for 1 on the night. Surrendered a shorthanded goal as well. What do you want to see from them in these last 35 seconds to try and get some momentum in this second period?
You know, on their power play, they got to have the quick movement, but they got to get the shots on net. We saw them just about getting a pass through the seam, just about getting a really good scoring opportunity. They're going to have to make 2 or 3 good passes and then get a good opportunity at the net. They've got to be patient and wait for that good look on this power play.
17 new minutes on the clock. Here we go. Second period of the state championship from Mullet Arena. Mountain Ridge going to bring this back to their own end and try and eat some clock right off the hop. Olsen looking to clear. Kept in. Gleddy and Solkamp on a group effort, but Olsen now trying to spring off some offense. McCosh down the right side. Thrown in front. Rebounds there, but steered aside by Caden Wright. Gomez now 5 seconds left on the penalty, trying to dance through a body and Indy go big, but unable to get there. Mountain Ridge back to 5-on-5 hockey.
It's a big kill, and Olsen's another big part of it. It's a name we've called a lot tonight.
And a big part on that back end. He's going to see a lot of minutes in these last 2 periods. As here's a chance for McCosh. McCosh with speed, trying to backhand one on, but that finds the end boards. Good defense there from SQ. Now Harak through the middle, stripped by Phelps. Phelps trying to chip it ahead, but into Mountain Ridge's bench and first whistle of the second period.
We haven't talked a lot about Jack Henry SQ yet. This kid's huge. Biggest kid in Arizona hockey right now, number 28 for the Notre Dame Saints. Comes in at either 6'7" or 6'8". I've seen both reported. Either way, it's a big right-handed defenseman.
He's listed at 6'8", but if you ask Notre Dame's student section, they'll tell you he's 6'7".
6'7".
Shane lets one go. That's just wide as it finds the glass, and now the stick of Askew. Harak through neutral ice. He takes a hit. Eklund with it now. He'll hold on, hounded by Barlow. Barlow trying to move it in front. Shot on save. Franzak up in the air. Then he'll float into the corner for Shane.
2 big saves by Franzak again. We talk about those turnovers again for Mountain Ridge below their goal line. They've got to manage the puck better when they're breaking out of their zone.
Foreman slips one, puck in his feet. Will go the other way. Eklund picks it up, and he'll send it below Notre Dame's goal line. Stanius zipped ahead for Kaplan. Kaplan chipped in. He'll go race to get it. Eklund will pick it up there. Stretch pass for Foss. Foss down the right side. He's going to let one go, but off the glass and all the way out to neutral ice. Now Eklund tries to slip in, drags a man down. Here comes Kaplan as he lets one go. Save Franzak. And that one cleared out of the way, but Notre Dame going to have a chance on their third power play of the game.
Tripping call is going to send Eklund to the box. Something Mountain Ridge is going to have to clean up. And again, it starts because of a turnover. And then when you get a turnover, you've got to try to recover for that mistake. And now they're going to sit in the penalty box. And they've got to stop this parade to the penalty box. Although, they do have that shorthanded goal from the first period.
The only goal they've scored, Brendan Phelps had the tally. He's on the draw now. Notre Dame 0 for 2 on the man advantage so far. Wesley in the corner. Moved up. Harland will pick it up. Sent down. Stallkamp. We'll go back to Wesley. Wesley slips a man to the high slot. Mickey there gets a swipe. Save Franzak still loose. Mickey took a couple pokes at it. That's going to draw a reaction.
Yeah, these scrums got to be careful. We talked about penalties. Again, Mountain Ridge can't go down a 5-on-3. You got to protect their goaltender. You got to let the Notre Dame Saints know that that's not okay. Can't get in the penalty box after a scrum like that. And one thing I got to say about we've talked about and Notre Dame and their power play, but Wesley's one of those unsung guys. Big draw in the offensive zone to start that power play. That's what started all that momentum for Notre Dame on that power play. Is a big face-off win by Wesley. Gets the first goal of the game. It's one of those guys we didn't talk about a lot before. We're going to talk a lot about him as this game goes on.
Only a sophomore as well. One of the pieces of this young core that Notre Dame has, even though they do have a lot of seniors. A lot of seniors on both sides tonight. Mickey. Phelps gives him a bump as they'll battle for it on the half wall. Stallkamp now below the goal line. Wesley comes away with it. Thrown in front on the back doorstep, but nobody can find it. And here's a chance the other way. Olsen and Phelps, 2-on-1. Olsen with it. Holding. What a defensive play by Maximus Harlan to shut down the 2-on-1. Mickey through the seam. Kaplan, Kipple the trigger. Harlan block shot by McCosh.
What a play by Harlan. We talked about Olsen all night and his offensive upside. He just couldn't get the puck across because of a great play by Maximus Harlan. Best name on the ice, Maximus Harlan.
Really rolls off the tongue. Huge hit by Justin Kaplan on Habarn, and no arms in the air for it. We'll keep playing. Chance in front for Babin, but he can't reach it. Now Dylan Shane the other way. Shane dicing through the middle. Huge move to his backhand throw for Kaplan, but it flutters just wide. Now Gomez banked up. Phelps will have it. Hesitation. Here he goes. Pulling up, waiting, zipped across for Camden Babin. Thrown on, glove by Wright, who's going to play. Left for Wilson, 12 seconds left on Eklund's penalty. Wilson going to do it himself. Backhand cross ice for a skew. Rock sent down low. Havarnen ties it up below the goal line. Mountain Ridge back to full strength.
Big kill for Mountain Ridge here in the second period.
Eklund right out of the box. Below the goal line. Tries a centering effort, but Horman is not to be found. Eklund takes a shot against the boards. Wilson with it off of the turnover and moved ahead as here comes Harak and Shane. Shane cutting the middle. Dylan Shane still with it. Stood up by Havarnen, who had a huge role in that semifinal game with a hat trick, as Gleddy can't keep it in.
Yeah, it's a play we haven't talked about a lot tonight. Is Havarnen and his ability to change the momentum of a game. You saw what he did in this semifinals. He got a hat trick in the third period, and to cap it off, he gets the game winner with 8 seconds to go. He's the guy that's going to join the rush from the back end, and they do need to get some offense from their defense right now. I think you're going to have to find a way for Mountain Ridge to create some offense right now, and it is going to have to come from the back end. But Havarnen and from Olsen, they're going to have to start jumping into the rush. You got to start getting some momentum offensively.
He took a hit on that last shift from Justin Kaplan, and heading back to the bench, he looked at the official and held up 3 fingers. Penalties are 3-0 for Notre Dame right now. Mountain Ridge yet to get a power play, which is where they are most comfortable. Lewis fends off a stretch pass, and he'll pick it up now. Moved over and now up. Mountain Ridge trying to attack. Kick through the middle. Foss can't find it. Stanius will end up with it. Roth stands a man up at the red line as Harlan takes a tumble. Mountain Ridge going to be able to get it in deep.
Nice play by Roth at the red line here, keeping that puck in and getting it down deep. But again, Mountain Ridge just can't generate any offense 5-on-5.
And this Notre Dame defense has been like an anaconda, just forcing all of the offensive life out of Mountain Ridge. Trying to get out. Wesley takes a man down. Coach Sean Babbitt not happy with the no call. His wine camera will pick it up in the corner. Wilson. They'll pull the brakes. Take this back behind Caden Wright. Phelps shadows him. Stretch pass for Wesley. Doesn't connect. No icing called. Kosh coughs it up. Stallkamp with it. Gomez now around 1 on his backhand. Sent down low. Wilson. Thrown to the front. Tipped wide by Wesley. Now Mountain Ridge trying to fly the zone. Phelps gets a stick to it. Still bouncing. Babin walking in. Around 1. Babin to the front off the dome of Caden Wright. So he got that one with the mask.
Big save by Wright, and this is what we talked about, that 5-on-5 pressure by Mountain Ridge. Babin getting a great opportunity in tight.
And that's the line that's going to do it for them. Phelps in the corner. High slap across. Kick saved by Wright with the right pad and a big one. Big hit along the boards. Gomez now the other way. Olsen cycling it back for Havarnen, who will post up behind goal. Stretch pass. Babin will tip it in. Babin thrown in front. Rebounds there for Phelps, but he'll hold on. Up top now, Eklund sent through, blocked by Eskew. Babin still sent through traffic, swatted aside by Stanius. Another one thrown in front, but again, only finds the tape of Noah Stanius. And Notre Dame able to clear.
But again, we saw some sustained offensive zone time from Mountain Ridge. It's going to be important for them to try to get some offensive opportunities 5-on-5. And you're starting to see the tide turn a little bit for the black and red.
Ice cut coming. We do want to give a little special shout out. Coach Taylor Nelson's mom, Susan Nelson, is watching as well, fighting her third battle with cancer. An absolute warrior. And the utmost respect to her. Our thoughts are with her, and we are fighting right alongside her.
Yeah, and her son said she is the ultimate hockey mom, and she's listening to this game as she battles cancer. So big shout out to Susan. Glad you could be with us tonight in Mullet Arena.
We have the ice crew out here for a quick intermission. We'll take a break and be back right after this. 2-1 the score, 9 minutes remaining in the second period. Welcome back to Mullet Arena. No score in the second period so far, 2-1. The score. Mountain Ridge, though, finding some offensive life, Petey.
Yeah, and I think that's where the momentum has shifted a little bit the last few minutes, where Mountain Ridge is finally getting some 5-on-5 opportunities.
Right.
As expected, Wright comes up big on all those opportunities. He's looked solid. Hasn't faced a lot of work yet tonight. But the shots he has faced, he's looked very solid.
Had a couple big saves with the pads down low, and these last couple minutes, icing will bring this one back. Mountain Ridge going for a set play off this face-off the first time around. We'll see what they have in store here. Foreman, one back. Varnon going to hold on to it, and then send it all the way down. That's a set play that these Mountain Lions have done since Coach Sean Babin has taken over. Trying to flip the ice quickly and get on the front foot. Skobig will glove this one down and send it in deep. Steerley with the hit. Another one on Jack Wilson. Horman now throws one on, easily gloved by Caden Wright.
Yeah, we talked about the physicality. You say Steerley come in there, 2 big hits, changes possession of the puck. They're able to get a puck at the net on Wright. That's the kind of play that Mountain Ridge is going to have to play to get back in this game, especially on the forecheck.
Especially with their lower lines as well. You look at the top unit, Phelps, Babin, McCosh, you maybe don't expect them to be quite as physical, but with guys like Horman, Baczynski, Steerley, those guys need to rough it up out there and make it tough on these Saints defensemen.
Yeah, it can make a difference. And a hit this time of the game could make a difference in the third period. One of Notre Dame defensemen's going back to get the puck. He might hear footsteps. So these hits are very important that the physicality is starting to pick up for Mountain Ridge.
Into the netting off the shot from Foss. As that one will head back to the right.
Everything that we thought of this was going to be, Easton it is. 2-1 tight, halfway through the second period. Chances both ways. The good players have had opportunities on both sides. This is what you want in a state championship.
And called 4 of those games with Dylan. Pescator. Penalty coming. Mountain Ridge going to have their first power play. Franzak to the bench. Gomez touches up. The lethal power play. Getting a chance to get its feet wet in the state championship.
Eskew is pleading his case on his way to the penalty box. And this lethal power play from Mountain Ridge takes the ice. And you know what? There are so many scoring threats, you can't just single out one guy. They are all a threat on this power play. I'm excited to see the puck movement. It's the first time we've seen him play tonight.
Talk about the top 3 in Babin, McCosh, and Phelps. But you look at Braden Horman, now you're at 20 goals and 35 points in 17 games. He can hang with that. He's going to probably be parked in front. Sean McCosh, the assistant coach for Mountain Ridge, runs this power play, and it might be the best run power play I've ever seen in high school hockey.
Yeah, and a name we've called a lot tonight is Chase Olson on the back end. He's a guy that we know can add that offensive upside from the back end.
Had 3 goals in the semifinal without Babin and Phelps. First effort here. Notre Dame setting up in a box. Phelps trying to jam it near side. Wright seals that off. Now Babin getting physical in the corner to force the turnover. Up to the point for Olson. Through the seam, he'll find McCosh. Now working it south to north. Turn over to Harlan, who's able to shovel it all the way down. 30 seconds gone on the power play.
Good job by Notre Dame on that kill, nodding, allowing Mountain Ridge to get that puck through the seam and able to get the puck all the way down the ice on this penalty kill.
Olson with speed into the zone. Shane on the back check. He'll still him off. Wilson digging for it. McCosh not able to keep it in, but he'll hold on to possession. Mason McCosh circling in his own end. 60 seconds left for the Mountain Lions on the power play. Weinkammer racing to get it. Hard rim around. Couple black jerseys there. Olson able to keep it in, but a second effort from Harrock gets it out, and he's been a penalty kill specialist for these Saints.
A good stand up at the blue line by that penalty kill forced McCosh to dump that puck in.
Chance in front. Babin can't corral it. He had a golden opportunity but couldn't hold on. Now walking and he'll throw one on. Wright has the answer. In front again. That one tipped. Phelps picks it up below the goal line. Phelps dancing. 20 seconds remaining. Horman just missed it on the tip.
Horman right at the top of the blue paint. Just couldn't get a solid stick on that.
And Olsen unable to get it away. Harak gets in the way. And really good job from Notre Dame on the penalty kill so far. They'll get a quick breather as well with the ice crew coming out to get those top units back out there.
Yeah, it's surprising, and I guess I don't know the high school rules. I'm going to tell you right now, Easton, surprising to see them do an ice cut in the middle of a power play, and it gives both the top penalty killers for Notre Dame and the top power play unit for Mountain Ridge to get a little bit of a breather. But I tell you what, Notre Dame's done a nice job here. They've made the entries more difficult for Mountain Ridge, and then they've had a real tight box down low. So you haven't seen the opportunities for Mountain Ridge to be able to get it through the seam, to get that one-time shot on the fly and able to beat the goaltender on a quick pass. I tell you, it's done a nice job. You had the one play out in front where Horman couldn't get a stick on it. Other than that, a great job penalty killing by Notre Dame.
Video playing right now in the arena about the referees as the official of the year, and got to pay some homage to our referees tonight who have served this league. Wouldn't be possible without them. The referees, Kyle Dodson and Jeremy Lackey, linesmen Anthony Caruso and Andrew Leonardo. I don't know if you ever ref PD, but that's not an easy job. You got an earful from a lot of parents.
I haven't done it since hockey school when I was a teenager, and buddy, we weren't that good. we were collecting our $5 an hour and trying to get out and enjoy the sunshine. Yeah, I tell you what, they're doing a great job tonight, and I think this is hard. And you look at the pace of this game and the physicality. They want to let these kids play. You want to let it be decided on the ice by the players. The referees don't want to be involved in this. So I think they've done a nice job through a period and a half at doing just that.
And all the refs on the ice standing and having a bit of a chuckle as Zach Merchant is named the referee of the year. And we mentioned it before, but boy, do these refs look sharp in those red kits as well. The red stripes are new to AHSHA, but hopefully that's something they're bringing back every year.
Have you seen that? Is tonight the first night you've seen the red sweaters?
They didn't use them last year. They haven't used them through playoffs. I think it's special occasions, special sweaters for these officials, and
I love it. A little throwback to the old slap shot of the Federal League with the red sweaters. I love it.
Should get the players warming up in Cooperalls next year.
Yeah, exactly. Shows how old I am, right, Easton? That movie out before you were born.
Imagine well before I was born. I wasn't even allowed to see that one until I was like 14.
Yeah, exactly.
Draw will come back to Notre Dame zone. 15 seconds left on the power play for Mountain Ridge. Foreman tied up off the draw, but he scoops it back. Olsen kicked over. Here's Babin. Babin lets one go. Big block by Justin Kaplan, and that's what Justin Kaplan brings to this team. Second effort, Phelps, but that one will go all the way down.
And we talked to Taylor Nelson about that and blocking shots for the Saints team, how important it is for the Saints team. And when you block a shot for the Saints, you get a Saint sticker to put on the back of your helmet. So look for the back of the helmets of these Saints kids and find out how many shots they've blocked.
And Justin Kaplan going to head back to the bench and ask for a sticker now, I would imagine. Olsen thrown on. SQ gets in the way. Unsuccessful power play for the Mountain Lions. McCosh going to dump it in deep. And icing the call as he didn't quite get the red line.
Yeah, they were unable to score on that, but one thing you look at Mountain Ridge there, they had the one opportunity right outside the crease, but they had offensive zone time for the entire power play. Hey, their nerves are going right now. It's a close game late in the second period. They get another opportunity. I'm sure they're gonna get a crack at that net.
It's just something they need to build off of now as well. They got the offensive zone time. They've looked better in this second period and have had the offensive efforts there, but have to continue to take the next step and try and level this game at 2. Stanius sent in deep. Eklund will advance it into the neutral zone. Askew picks it up. Through the middle, all the way down. Eklund, first one there. Varnen out to the point. Stanius rims it all the way around. Tied up on the half wall. Couple bodies converge there, still battling for it. Steerley comes away with it, trying to find Fox through the middle, but can't. Now Stanius turned over to Basinski. They'll stay on sides, but can't hold on to the puck. Now Harrock with a chance the other way. Brady Harrock tries to dance around one, but Ekman gets his stick in there. Barlow, backhanded deep. Brzezinski sends it down. Coletti able to keep it in for a moment, but good effort by Foss to clear the zone. Harrock sent into the far corner. Stallkamp throws one in front. No white jerseys there, but turned over from the top of the blue paint to Gomez. Rebound effort for Wesley off the end boards. Couldn't find a penalty coming. It looks like it might go on Notre Dame again, as I think Havarnen got caught up high.
Back-to-back power plays for this Mountain Ridge team. Let's see if they can capitalize and build some more momentum that they had from the first power play.
It's going to be our Trey Wesley, the first goal scorer for the Saints. He's going to serve 2 minutes for a high sticking. Caught Havarnen up in the face mask, and Mountain Ridge, if they weren't settled in now would be the time for them to get going on this man advantage.
Yeah, and it's just going to take one shot. This team is skilled enough on the power play. That's all it's going to take. Win the draw, 1-2 passes, and get an opportunity at right. Right still hasn't been tested very much in this second period.
Top unit out there, but a clear right off the draw for the purple and gold.
Yeah, the faceoff circle has been really good for the Notre Dame Saints, and it's made a difference on these special team plays.
McCosh, he can move. Here he goes now. And he loses an edge, able to recover and hold on. Backhand to the point. Phelps picks it up. Sashaying at the point, kicked over to Camden Babin. Now up top, Olsen. Hesitating, back to Babin. Down low, Phelps thrown in front, off the body somehow. Kane Wright said no.
Wow, SQ goes down to block that pass going through the crease. Off SQ and right on the goaltender, right. Quick reaction, big save. And sometimes that's all it takes. Throw the puck at the net, get it around that blue paint. Look for that second opportunity. Now this power play has had a much better possession, this power play. They just got to get more opportunities at the net.
Mountain Ridge has had a couple good chances, but that might be their best one since their first goal of the night. Mickey clears right off the draw again, and Petey, we talked about those draws. They're proving to be instrumental here on special teams.
Yeah, it's the little details. And the details right now on this penalty kill favor Notre Dame. It's that face-off win. It kills 20 seconds every time you get that puck down the other end of the ice.
Babin up top for Olsen. Sauced over, McCosh with it on the right flank. Moving in, still with it. McCosh looking for Orman in front, but can't find him. Harlan clears it all the way down.
Another
45.
good stick. Another good stick by SQ. Another good defensive play by the tall defenseman for the Saints.
Orman tips it in. SQ racing there now. Orman pokes it along. And Babin, one of the smallest players on the ice, throwing his weight into the 6'8" Jack Henry SQ. That one's going to come out for Olsen.
One more crack at it for Mountain Ridge. Under 30 seconds left on this power play.
2.5 minutes remaining in the second period. No score to this point in the middle frame. McCosh sent in deep. Stanius racing to get there. 5 seconds remaining on the power play. Shane would have had a breakaway, but can't find it. No icing called. Dylan Shane from the trapezoid trying to center, but Olsen gets in the way. Trey Wesley, his second of the night, right off the green, right on the board. Notre Dame up by 2.
And at first they killed the penalty, and they're able to create a turnover below the goal line again and get an opportunity on that play. You look at Olsen, who made a good play from the first centering pass that couldn't stop Notre Dame from getting that puck out in front of the net. And again, Notre Dame takes a 2-goal lead.
Wesley with the one-timer, the sophomore with the second of the night. Beats Browns off through the 5-hole. Notre Dame up 3-1, a key goal with just 2 minutes remaining in the second period.
It's a big goal for Notre Dame and for Wesley. Wesley gets 2 goals all season. It's 2 goals all season. They got 2 goals tonight in the state championship.
Stepped up and played a big role in the first 2 rounds with some of the top guys out for Notre Dame and shining through even more here tonight. Mountain Ridge with a draw on their own end, and they need a response to try and get some momentum heading into the locker room.
A little credit to Brady Harrock on that one. He drives to the front of the net, and I think that disturbed the goaltender from Mountain Ridge just enough so it couldn't react to that shot. It's those little things that we've talked about.
Sent all the way down from Notre Dame. Roth racing to get there, but it'll have the legs for icing.
And Mountain Ridge now 0 for 2 on the power play. Kind of one of the things that surprised me. You get those 2 opportunities. You saw the build on it from the first one. You thought the second one they might be able to break through, and here they are now. Again, down by 2.
We saw that in the Bachelor game, went 0 for 2 to start the game, but Notre Dame cannot keep giving that power play opportunities. Scored 3 power play goals on their last 3 power plays, all in the third period. On those last 17 minutes, discipline is going to be a notion ranked through the locker room from Taylor Nelson.
Yeah, this is what we talked about when we started the top of the show, is Mountain Ridge has been here before. They were down 3-0 with 10 minutes to go in the semifinals. This is not unfamiliar territory for them. So if you're Coach Babin, it's the same message. Hey, we've been here. We've done this. We've had opportunities. We just need to get one of those to go in on the power play, and we just need some more offensive opportunities.
Askew hounded by Bazinski, and he'll come away with it to the front, trying to throw one on. Stanius gets in the way. And now below the goal line, Phelps trying to gem it, but another good stick by Stanius. Phelps moving with it, sent on, but right into the logo of Caden Wright.
Big save by Wright, and he just holding the fort right now, keeping this a 2-goal lead for Notre Dame. But you know what? I wonder, Easton, in the back of their minds, we've seen this before from Notre Dame. We've seen a lead going into the third period of a state championship. We've seen it before. And that starts to creep in to the mindset of the Notre Dame Saints.
And I saw a former Saint, Adam Kaplan, at the semifinal game, and Notre Dame was up 4-0, and they were in a good position to win. But Adam Kaplan looked at me and was like, trust me, Easton, I know it's not over. They've been here before, but maybe looking for a different end to their fairy tale tonight.
Yeah, and that's why we talk about this third period. You look at the high-powered offense that Mountain Ridge has, and the 3 leading scorers of the entire league on their squad. Hey, they can score every time they jump over the boards. Like a 2-goal lead can disappear in an instant in Arizona high school hockey. So this one is a long way from over.
That top unit out there now. Havarinen laying a hit on Mickey, but Kaplan will step into it. Kaplan trying to get to the blue paint, but he's shut out. Go big in there. McCosh will pick it up in the high slot. McCosh skating down the left side with it, in on line camera, left behind. Havarinen sends one on. Another one smothered by Caden Wright.
Yeah, Caden Wright's making it look easy right now. It's just going right into the logo. There's no rebounds. There's no puck squeaking through. He looks solid right now, and I know right now his confidence level is extremely high. That's going to have to be, because expect a big push by the black and red here in the third period.
First ever state championship Caden Wright has ever played in, despite going to 4 out of the last 5 for the Saints, and he looks as stoic as ever. Babin on the draw. Barak going to be kicked out. Gomez will take his place.
Another face-off win by the Saints.
That's killing these offensive shifts. Here's Shane. Shane pulling to the front. He scores! Pull up that fountain, Shane.
That's a tough one. Havarinen has that play at the blue line. He just has to be able to control the puck, get that puck off of the boards, live another day. Fumbles it in his feet a little bit, and Shane is able to take that puck in all alone. And now we got a 3-goal lead. That's a tough one with under 30 seconds to go in the second period.
5th goal in 3 playoff games for Dylan Shane. The Saints have the driver's seat painted purple and gold now. 22 seconds left in the second period. What a close for this period by Notre Dame.
Yeah, 2 big goals. We're down a 1-goal lead, and Mountain Ridge going on the power play. how much different does this look going into the locker room than we anticipated just a few short minutes ago?
SQ floated down the ice. It's on the air. We'll pick it up now. Horman still with it through neutral ice. He looks like a man on a mission right now. Set on goal. Waffle boarded away by Caden Wright. And time expires on the period. Another good period for the Saints. I'll tell you, Wesley gets his second and right just after a penalty kill. And Dylan Shane with the beauty for his 5th goal of the playoffs. And the Mountain Ridge in a bit of a hole right now. But like you said, they've been here before. Sean Davin talked about how he's much calmer in the locker room than normal in that Boncha Perry game. Do you think that same notion will ring true tonight?
Yeah, there's going to be a frustration level in the Mountain Ridge locker room, certainly. Yeah, 2 power plays, unable to break through and get on the board on their power plays that has been lethal all season long. That's going to hurt them. But I think when I talked to Coach Babin after the semifinal win, he said, we're okay with being down. We've been there. We've done this. It's going to be a similar message, I'm sure, in the locker room. They just got to hang on. And it's important that they get that next one. And I would expect a very big push early by Mountain Ridge. Get the puck deep, get the puck to the net. And you're going to have to challenge Wright more than he's been challenged so far in this game.
2 unanswered goals in the second period by Notre Dame. 17 minutes away from crowning a state champion here at Mullet Arena. We'll have an ice cut, and we'll be back after a quick message. One period remains between one of these 2 teams and a state championship. Notre Dame, Mountain Ridge. Notre Dame up 4-1 with 2 late second period goals. Petey, what does Mountain Ridge need to do to get back in this game, especially in these first 5 minutes?
For Mountain Ridge, it's one at a time. You can't score 3 goals at once. You got to get that first one. So it's the little things. One thing they haven't done tonight is they haven't been able to generate enough 5-on-5. They've got to get pucks, and they've got to get more people at the net. And that's where Wright comes in. No rebounds. He's been able to cover those up. And Mountain Ridge has not been able to get that second chance opportunities that they're going to need here in the third period.
Now, I know you were at that semifinal game that we've talked about all night along with Mountain Ridge, but it almost feels a little bit like deja vu, doesn't it? Where they're coming into this third period out really ice cut in a bit of a hole and need to dig their way out of it. They did it last time.
Yeah, and it was their defense. We talked about how well this team is and how stacked they are at the top of their lineup offensively, but it was their defensemen that really got the offense going for Mountain Ridge. So again, I said in the second period, I expect to see it here in the third. They're going to have to get their D involved. They're going to have to get 4-man rushes, and they're going to have to try to get more pucks on the net on Wright.
When you look at Caden Wright in the night he's had, he's been one of the best players, if not the best player on the ice for the Saints, and they're going to be able to lean on him a little bit in this third period, but have to step up defensively still.
Yeah, it's interesting, and if you've watched the state tournament over the last several years, Notre Dame's been here before. They've had leads going into the third period. They've had multiple goal leads going into the third period before, and they were unable to close those games out. There's doubt in their mind. Yeah, I know they're not talking about it. I know they're not saying it, but I know Mountain Ridge knows it, and they're going to be chirping in the face-off circle. So for Notre Dame, it's the little detail. It's face-off wins like they've done all night tonight. It's good sticks in the defensive zone, and it's making smart plays. Again, just continue to play the way they've played all night long. They haven't given up many big opportunities defensively. Chip it, get it out of the zone, get it in deep, and just play smart. And most importantly, don't take your foot off the gas. Don't sit back and let Mountain Ridge come at you. Keep that offense going for Notre Dame. They got to find a way to close out a state championship.
Notre Dame has been devastated years and years in a row. Mountain Ridge came here on an unbelievable comeback. 2 stories that couldn't be more different, yet the fates seem to align perfectly for this third period.
Yeah, once he steps up for that Ridge, we're talking about the top 3 players, the guys that are leading this AHSHA and scoring all season long. They need to get on the board here in the third period.
Top line out there for Mountain Ridge. Babin, McCross, Phelps, Gomez, Wesley, Stallcamp to counter. 17 minutes of hockey between us and the state champion here in Mullet Arena. And Mountain Ridge going to pick it off the jump. Battling in the corner. Stallcamp in the high slot. He's run over by Phelps. Huge hit to start play in the third. Mountain Ridge trying to turn it into some offense as Babin's shot snatched with the trapper of Caden Wright.
Yeah, I know it's a little detailed, but a big hit on one end leads to a shot at the other end. That's the way Mountain Ridge needs to play. That's a great first shift to set the tone for this third period.
And you look at Mountain Ridge's bench, they're not sulking. They're all standing up. They look energized. And they look like they're going nowhere in this third period.
Yeah, well, this team can score. We know they can score. It's just got to get some pucks on net.
Varnen thrown on, blocked, rebound effort, blocked again. Here's Mickey. Mickey, 2-on-0 with Harlan. Mickey all alone. Stop ball, take rebound, another. Save of the night for Noelle Franzak. And she just saved the goal single-handedly.
Not just one, but two huge saves on a 2-on-0. And I tell you what creates that? It's two big block shots by the Notre Dame Saints. Again, little details earned their stickers, did a great opportunity, but Franzak is up to the test on the other end.
When you look at that first shift, you have the big hit by Phelps. Not a lot of offense from Mountain Ridge, but then the two saved by Phelps. Like, you can look back at this first shift in this third period if Mountain Ridge comes back and say that's the turning point.
Yeah, for sure. That's on Tate Mickey. That's a kid that's been scoring all season long.
Left behind, Olsen trying to bank it ahead. He has Foss. Foss moving in, slams on the brakes, looking for options. He'll go to Gobig. Gobig, Olsen walking in, lets one go. Another block by Jack Wilson as the Saints are looking like sponges out there. 2-on-1, Hurrah, backhand pass, broken up by Gobig with the skate. Hurrah, forward goal, high slot, Shane dancing, backhand up for another stop by Franzak. Battling in the neutral zone, thrown to the middle. Here's Phelps. Phelps with a little room, making a move. He's forced behind the net by SQ.
That big reach by SQ pushes Phelps in behind the net.
Phelps trying to jam it in front by Kantz. Now Harak through neutral ice. He slips a couple. Fans on the dump. He'll get it the second time off of Justin Kaplan. Babbitt working through the neutral zone. Tries to kick out for Phelps, but not on the same page. Phelps gets it eventually. He takes a hit along the wall. Harland with it now. Batted out on midair by McCosh as they do battle in the corner. Babbitt up for Roth. Roth knocked off his stick. Phelps gonna have it fall right in his lap as he was going for a change. And he's gonna hold on and stay out there a little longer. Kaplan off the turnover. Driving to the blue paint, but broken up by Lewis.
Yeah, you got to watch out for Phelps. He's just got to make an easy play, get the puck off his stick, and get a change. Now he's stuck out there again, and he's a guy they're going to need to count on as this period goes on.
Chance went front there. Saints never got a shot off as this one goes all the way down, no icing. Harlan down the left side. He takes a hit as he tried to jump out of the way and got caught. Now McCosh the other way. McCosh on goal. Easily stopped by Caden Wright. Now some words after the whistle as well. Things are heating up a little bit.
Yeah, and Mountain Ridge needs these shots on goal, but a wrist shot from the top of the circle with no traffic, nobody driving the middle lane, nobody getting to the blue paint. Wright's going to take those all night long, and we've seen that from him tonight. Mountain Ridge has got to find a way to get a second chance opportunity. Screens, tips, get a garbage goal inside the blue paint. They just haven't been able to do that against this stingy Notre Dame defense.
Need one to try and flip the momentum. Foreman trying to walk in, but he can't hold on. Good defensive play by Stanius, who will go far side to Gomez. Gomez now with speed. Backhanded effort. Rebounds there in front. Wesley got a swipe at it. He's looking for the hat trick, but Franzak up to the task. Now Horman dragged down. Stanius keeps it in. Eklund racing to get there. He will. Knocked off his stick. Picked up by Horman. Horman on the attack. Moves it ahead. Had Montoya, but just slipped out of his reach. Was sent back to neutral ice. Eklund pirouetting in the neutral zone as he will send it in on Caden Wright. 13.5 between Notre Dame and the state championship. Arlo turned over Babbitt. Babbitt driving, but he'll pull up and wait for more. Sent far side. He finds Eklund. Eklund thrown from an off angle wide. In front, chance for Phelps, but couldn't find the mark. Barlow now going to pick this one up. Varden takes a hit from Harlan from behind. No penalty to come from that, as that one will go down for icing.
Well, Mountain Ridge has gotten some offensive zone time, and that's what they needed to do to start this period. We're 4 minutes in. They've had a few shot opportunities, but again, nothing that's really testing right. They got to get their top players getting the opportunity. But here's one of the concerns you have, is these top players trying to do it by themselves. They're going to have to use each other. They got to use their teammates, and they're going to have to pass the puck, because that's the only way they're going to get one by right, is to get right moving.
Phelps on the draw against Harlan. Haven't been able to win many draws. They lose that one too, but need to start winning in the dots. They're trying to set up offensively. Phelps moving down the right side, throws one on, almost found it short side. Wilson shoved down. McCaution there digging 4 bodies in the corner. That one slid out to center ice all the way down, just to the right of Franzok for icing.
Yeah, it looks like Notre Dame's just surviving this on a little bit of an onslaught by Mountain Ridge, dumping the puck down, getting a couple of icings. But you know what? They're bending up breaking. They're still protecting the front of the net. They're still having good sticks. They're still able to win those scrums and those 50-50 battles along the wall. It's been a very good Notre Dame team. Consistent, little details have carried them this far.
Have to be careful not to get caught too much on the ropes and playing too defensively. Need to try and stay on the front foot a little bit. Jensen front, big save, right rebounds there. Babin couldn't find it. Mickey on his tape as he tries to clear. He'll find Justin Kaplan. Bobig swinging away at it. Offsides. Whistle comes, but what a chance for the Mountain Lions, and what an answer from Caden Wright.
Yeah, that's the best opportunity this team has had, 5-on-5 with their best players in tight in the blue paint, and Wright is right there to handle that test by Mountain Ridge. And we talked about him making the easy saves and smothering those rebounds. That's a big save in tight against one of the top players in the state of Arizona.
Got 2 on that one on Babin on the back door, keeping Notre Dame out in front. Foreman wins it laterally, and he'll scoop it up and kick it over to Lewis. Ahead for Foss. He couldn't get a stick to it, as it'll go down for icing, and Mountain Ridge will have to come back to their own end.
Time is starting to favor the Notre Dame Saints right now. The time is ticking off. Like a 3-goal lead. I know we saw this exact same thing play out in the semifinals. Under 10 minutes, Mountain Ridge was able to capitalize, but the way the Notre Dame Saints are playing in front of their goaltender right now, you have this feeling that Mountain Ridge has got to break through here soon if they're going to get back in this one.
12 minutes remaining. Clock moving as slow as it can be for Notre Dame and as fast as it can be for Mountain Ridge. Foreman can't hold on. Wilson, D to Coletti. Coletti sent through traffic. Rebound there for Barlow, inches away from getting Notre Dame their 5th. Lewis backhanded ahead. Now to Coletti. Bazinski almost forces the turnover, but good recovery there from Notre Dame's blue line. Foreman lets one go. Glove stop by Wright, almost squeaked through.
Used the Notre Dame Saint defenseman as a screen, and that was a heck of a shot, and another great save by Wright.
Caden Wright set himself a number of goals coming into this year. The list was 4 long. The first 3 accomplished. The last one's to win this game. As Pavarnin just offsides, Foreman knocked down at the whistle, and he's going to take his anger out on someone. Give a shot to Harak, who wasn't the guy who hit him, but...
Yeah, and honestly, that's where you got to see Mountain Ridge. They can't take a penalty like that after this. They got to play hard between the whistles. You can't go down shorthanded against the Notre Dame Saints and give their power play an opportunity this late in this game.
We will shovel here at Mullet Arena. 4-1 to score. No score in the 3rd period. 11 minutes away from the end of regulation. Notre Dame, they're in front. TV timeout remaining. 11 minutes left. Notre Dame up by 3, and looks like they're just trying to hold on to this one. Mountain Ridge doing everything in their power to get back. Harlan wide, thrown He made a diving effort there. McCosh will bank this ahead for Phelps. SQ flutters one into the neutral zone. Glove down by Havarinen. And now Eklund will be back to get it. Eklund turned over. Harland up in the air. Kaplan couldn't step into it. Here's Mickey who throws one wide. Kaplan sent into the wall by Havarinen. Things definitely getting a little chippier as time progresses here, Petey.
Yeah, I think frustration's starting to come out. And you know what? Notre Dame is standing up right back to that challenge physically.
Phelps trying to work around SQ, but SQ standing tall literally and figuratively.
Oh, that was a good one. SQ standing tall. I'll write that one down.
Stanius will send it in. It's hard not to make the tall jokes when he's 6'8". And I hear so many short jokes that I got to give the tall ones. McCosh left behind. Phelps lets one go, just missed the mark.
And again, he uses the defenseman of Notre Dame for a screen, and it just misses the top corner there. They are getting close. They are getting opportunities, but when they do get it on net, right is right there.
McCosh moved ahead. No icing. Babin chasing. He'll get their first thrown in front. Paddle is side by right. Another chance. High slot for Horman. Didn't find the mark. Rebound effort. Sweeping save from Caden Wright. This one will come back out and give the Notre Dame netminder a breather, but what a stop. His best of the night.
Another good sequence by Mountain Ridge and another great save by Wright.
Wesley in the corner. Go Big will pick it up. Foreman comes in to support. Moved ahead for Olsen. Olsen out wide. Thrown to the middle. Doesn't find the target. Now Baczynski trying to go up high, but that's turned over as well. I'll tell you, Wesley through the middle looking for Stallkamp, but a back check from Chase Olsen gets in the way. Now here goes Olsen. Creating from the back end. Driving to the paint. Shot on stop right. Rebounds there. Swept aside. Stanius saved the goal.
Another good play by Olsen. He's the one that started things going for them in the semifinals. And Wright stands tall. Again, that was a heck of a move by Olsen. Trying to get him to bite on that pass through the crease, and he holds on to it. And another big save by Wright.
Time fleeting for the Mountain Lions. 8 minutes remaining. They need 3. They need them quickly. The chances have been there. They just haven't found it yet.
Yeah, this is the team that's been able to score all season long, but they run into a brick wall right now in Caden Wright.
McCosh up to the dots. Tried to find Babin in front, but couldn't. Babin might have got whacked on the hand as he shakes it off. Now McCosh, high slot again, thrown in front, blocked by Jack Wilson. Mickey able to advance it. Roth stepping up, and a good keep there by him. That's what Mountain Ridge is going to have to start doing, is sending those D-men down and going aggressive. Babin in front, he'll hold on, kick up to the point. Thrown on, stopped by Wright again. Rebound was there for Babin momentarily. Chipped ahead by Lewis. That one, penalty coming. Slashing going to be called. And Mountain Ridge going to head to the penalty kill as it's Joseph Roth is going to go 2 for slashing.
It's a tough time to take a penalty. And you look at this time dwindling away. You're under 8 minutes of play in the finals, down by 3. And you can't take a penalty, especially a penalty with your stick. Hooking, slashing. You can't do it at these times. You got to hold on your stick and make the right play.
Now, that being said, Petey, Mountain Ridge's only goal did come on the penalty kill in the first period.
Well, you're going to see them take chances. There is no question they're going to try to get the puck off the ice and get some opportunities on this penalty kill. They have to. So look for them to fire the puck down, and no icing on the penalty kill. So they're going to try to stretch this zone, and they're going to try to create some offense while they're short. For Notre Dame, just hold on to the puck, make some good plays, good solid power play. Do not let Mountain Ridge get any momentum on this kill.
Gomez over to Wilson as Notre Dame will try and set up. Wilson walking in front. Gomez, rebound there, left pad of Franzak gets in the way.
Another great save by Franzak. Hasn't been tested much in this third period, but that's a huge save.
Harak now cutting through the neutral zone, tries to chip it in. Havarinen gets in the way. Baczynski able to clear. Askew setting up shop behind goal. 60 seconds left on Notre Dame's power play, but they'll happily let the clock wind down behind the net. Slow play from the Saints. Banked up to Wesley. Wesley to Stallcamp. Lets one go. That careened into the end boards. Now Phelps trying to get something going offensively. Backhanded look for Babin. Babin with a chance. He'll pull up trying to find Phelps on the spin pass, but couldn't connect with him. Now Harlan behind goal. Just under 6 minutes remaining. 15 seconds left on Notre Dame's power play. Stallcamp through the middle. Kaplan in front. Bronzak got the first one and the second.
Bronzak again with big saves here late in this third period.
Keeping Mountain Ridge in it. As this could easily be a 5 or 6 goal game. Now to Kaplan. Kaplan lets one go. Huge eat by Varnen as he took that one, and he is slow to his feet, but does pop back up. Now Phelps. Mountain Ridge at full strength. Horman on the weak side. To the middle, McCosh, but can't find his tape. One man back is Varnen, Dylan Shane, and Justin Kaplan 2-on-1. Back pressure coming. Slid to the front. Kaplan got to stick to it, but Bronzak got the better. Now Phelps sent far side for Havarnen. In front, nobody there. Now Phelps, another one thrown, blocker to side by Caden Wright. 4.5 remaining in regulation. Shane through the middle. Harak looking to throw one in front, but he didn't get all of it. And now Chase Olsen the other way. Olsen with speed down the left side, thrown on, deflected aside by Wright once again. Hawkshurst throwing his weight around. In the corner, Bazinski. He's dragged down. Still tied up in the corner. Askew in there with Harak. Up top, Lewis. Thrown on wide. Rebound there, but Wright gets the glove to it. And a lot of jabs from Hawkshurst. Wright coming over to have a word about it as well.
I tell you what, Notre Dame has been good looking for some offense again, and Bronzak, save after save after save late in this game. Mountain Ridge just can't find their offense. And you got to give credit to Notre Dame and their ability to defend. And Mountain Ridge cannot get that rebound or that second chance opportunity right now.
And they've had the opportunities there, but haven't been able to beat Caden Wright. 4 minutes away from rewriting their story, avenging those who came before them. And you have to imagine that Kent Reed is elevated a little bit, if not a lot right now.
Yeah, Notre Dame is looking for a different ending. You're right. And now they're hanging on. And you know what? They've had the offensive opportunities. They've had chances at the other end. And they easily could have added some offense in this third period. Solid goaltending by Bronzak has kept this a 3-goal game. Hey, let's face it. Mountain Ridge needs a goal now. There's no time to wait. I would expect a goaltender pull here any moment now. It's tough to pull the goalie against a team like Notre Dame because you know they're going to get their opportunities, but you need that extra attacker. You need to try to swing the momentum, and you need a goal now.
And that's when this shovel really plays into their favor because they get a little extra timeout to rest up. Still have a timeout on top of that to take late in this game.
Yeah, and you know from Mountain Ridge, they're going to put their top players out there a lot between now and this final buzzer. So expect to see those names we talked about. Expect to see Babbitt. Expect to see McCog. Expect to see Phelps here a lot over the next 4 minutes.
And Pete, to be completely honest, there's 3 minutes and 58 seconds left. I wouldn't at all be shocked if those 5 guys play the last 4 minutes.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all, but with Notre Dame, they've got so many guys that have done those things. I don't know how many block shots they've got in this third period alone. And so they're just going to continue to do what they're doing, continue to roll their lines, and find a way to get through this last 4 minutes.
And it feels like everyone's been clicking tonight for the Saints, and they can put any of their 4 lines out there. Wesley popped by Braden Horman right at the blue line. Olsen cycled back for Horman. Horman charging forward, trying to find Phelps. Gomez intercepts, but it'll rattle into Notre Dame zone before they clear. Bouncing puck for Wesley. Chance in front, Gomez, band on it. Wide open in the high slot, but couldn't get the shot away. Foreman around for Olsen.
We want Driscoll! We want Driscoll! We want Driscoll!
Olsen to Phelps. Working down the side, penalty coming on the Saints. And oh, what more time for them. 3 minutes left. Babin through traffic and each just wide. Orman going to get there first. Franz off to the bench, extra skater out. They're going to have a 2-minute power play, but 3 minutes remain. As Olsen going to pick this one up and take his time. Babin slicing through the neutral ice. He'll bring this in below the goal line. That could be another penalty coming. We'll wait to see if they get both, but this could be a 5-on-3 for Mountain Ridge. Kaplan and Wilson are both heading towards the box.
Yeah, it is. This could be one of those turning points. I know there's only 2.5 minutes left, but you're looking at a 5-on-3, potentially pulled goal in a 6-on-3. Wouldn't be surprised to see Mountain Ridge take a timeout here and rest their top players.
It looks like they are. Sean McCoff has the whiteboard in hand as they will head to the bench for the timeout. 6-on-3 likely going to be the situation. What do you think the key is to getting past Kane Wright, who's been unbelievable all night long?
You got to get him moving, and that's one thing that this power play hasn't been able to do yet tonight. You got to get him moving through the seam. You got to be able to get that pass from one side of the ice to the other to get Caden Wright moving, and that's something that Mountain Ridge has not been able to do on their power play tonight. Or they've got to get back to the point, and they've got to get traffic for that dirty, mucky goal with tip, screens, and rebounds. Those are the two ways they're going to capitalize on this power play, especially when you're outnumbering the opponent 6-on-3.
Could have 2 minutes on the 5-on-3 or 6-on-3, depending on how they play it. And then if they are able to score, still have the 6-on-4, but have to pop 2 quick ones to give yourself the time for the third, which will have to be 6-on-5.
Yeah, this is exciting. I mean, with as powerful as their power play is for Mountain Ridge, and we've seen them unable to finish one off through 2.5 periods. Well, now's the time. Now's the time. Let's see if this power play can get Mountain Ridge back in this one. Hey, the opportunity's right there for them. You've got the opportunity to get 2 goals and get right back in this game in the waning minutes of the state championship.
Never a dull moment in the state championship, Petey. Drama here to finish. 2:34 left. 2 penalties given at the same time. 6-on-3 for the Mountain Lions. They trail by 3. And now about what do you got?
Huge face-off win for Mountain Ridge.
McCosh working in. He'll take his time. Urgency oh so important for Mountain Ridge. McCosh lets one go. Another block by Harlan. Nothing has gotten through the first layer tonight. Shot up by McCosh again, just wide.
And just like we talked about, look at the screen in front of the net, in front of Wright, trying to get in front of his eyes. Great job by Mountain Ridge. 2 guys in the blue paint. Now there's 3 guys. They got to get some pucks on net here, though.
Olsen, tough angle in front, still loose there. Poked on, rebound, knifed away by Wright. Now Olsen again, working to reset, walks in, lets it go. Huge heat by Maximus Harlan. Phelps working high. Another block. Harlan rebound there. Stopped by Wright. Notre Dame gets it clear.
Maximus Harlan, 2 big blocks on this power play. That could be the difference down the last 2 minutes.
2-on-1. Babin working in front. Havarin in. Can't find it. Rebound Wright. Covers momentarily. Still loose. Finally a whistle. 90 seconds left. Punches being thrown.
Havarin can't get that one past Wright. He's the guy that changed the momentum in the semi-final game. Couldn't put one by Wright, and Wright stands tall again, and the clock keeps ticking. We're at 1.5 minutes to go. 3-goal lead. Mountain Ridge has got to get a goal here.
Mountain Ridge lost to Pinnacle 5-1 in this same building last year, and they're going to need a mini miracle. Stanius on goal. 200 Fahey. And they stand now on the bench. 5-1 lead, Notre Dame.
That's how important a face-off win is here late in the game on a power play. Notre Dame's been doing it all night long in the face-off circle, and they do it at the most important time. They can feel it now. It's 1:25. You got a 4-goal lead. You've been able to get a goal on this lethal power play that they've been able to keep off the board for this entire game. You win a draw down the other end of the ice. Four-goal lead. 1:25 to go. I think Notre Dame's going to start to feel it.
We talked about in the pregame how it's a shame that someone has to lose this game, but Notre Dame has felt like a team of destiny all season long, and there was no way this team was going to go without winning this game. High slot shot, go big, that's blocked. Up top for Lewis. Lewis sent on, blocked away by Caden Wright. 60 seconds flat remaining, and we talked to Taylor Nelson, and he set 3 goals for the season. Regular season champs, state champs, and national champs. They're looking to be well on their way to get 2 out of the 3.
Yeah, they're checking those boxes, and that started with a big trip to Las Vegas to start the season for this Notre Dame Saint team.
A team that has bonded better than any Notre Dame team in years. As they're all on their feet with 60 seconds remaining. Lewis sends one on, that's wide. 45 seconds, sent down. Bonzak will play it. Lewis cutting through neutral ice. Half a minute left. Both of Notre Dame's players back out of the box. Justin Kaplan, Jack Wilson, and they're jumping for joy on the home bench. As it's setting in, they're going to do it. 15 seconds. Tied up on the wall. Go big to Lewis. Up to the point. Sent on by Foss. Countdown from 10 begins. 4 years of devastation. The new fairy tale is written. Notre Dame are the kings of 2026. Emotions beyond description. Todd Walsh says it himself. You win together. You walk together forever. And this Notre Dame team has been immortalized as a family.
They've waited for this moment for a long time. It's been a lot of years and a lot of players for wearing that purple and gold of Notre Dame that fell just short over the last several years. They can savor this moment. This is one of the top programs in Arizona hockey year after year after year after year. And they finally were able to close out the state championship. They've been unable to do the last several times they've been here. It's a big win for Notre Dame. It was a team win. They did it as a group. They did it by doing the details right. They were blocking shots. They were winning faceoffs, and they did it together. A testament to what Coach Nelson has been able to do for this Notre Dame team. That is a big win. They earned this one. They deserve this win today. They were the better team.
You have to give props to Mountain Ridge for the season they had as they gather at center ice around Coach Sean Dobbin, and they fought tooth and nail to get here and put up a fight in the state title game. And you have to commend their effort this season.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get the 2 best teams in the state going head-to-head. This was a tight one for most of this game. Notre Dame was able to find a way to win this one, and I tell you the difference was the penalty kill. Notre Dame's penalty kill was outstanding, and when they were able to get a great shot, well, Cannon Wright was right there, so the goaltending was solid, penalty kill was solid, and I'm going to say it again, this team's very well coached. It was all the little things that allowed them to win this game. It was the block shots, it was the face-offs.
And when we spoke to Taylor Nelson yesterday, he talked about how people didn't know if he was ready for this job, how they didn't know if Caden Wright was ready for the job between the pipes, and all he wanted to do at the end of the night was embrace his goaltender. And we just saw it there as they embraced after claiming their 6th program state title, now tying Pinnacle for the most in all of AHSHA.
Yeah, it's an impressive win for Notre Dame. Wire to wire tonight. They looked fantastic. They were as advertised today.
The teams will line up for the medal ceremonies, and it's always a tale of two different teams after a game like this, and devastation on one side, elation on the other, but both teams need to be commended for the performance and the show that they put on for us tonight.
And I want to give a shout out to the Mountain Ridge goaltender, Noel Fronzak. Flew on a plane that long trip from Boston this morning. Comes out and gives a stellar performance tonight. I thought she was outstanding. I think she made some huge saves throughout this game to keep her team in this game. She was great. And I know when you talk about the top players for the team, you talk about Phelps, you talk about Babbitt. Hey, there's a lot of guys coming back from this Mountain Ridge team for next year. They're not going away.
Still a lot of young talent on that Mountain Ridge team have definitely established themselves as a dynasty every year passing here in AHSHA, putting themselves up there with the Notre Dames and the Pinnacles. But one of the greatest traditions of this sport at every level is the handshake after going to war against your opponent.
That's great. You battled hard, you played hard, and you finished like this. This was everything we were hoping for in a state championship here in the state of Arizona. And again, hats off to Kenny McGinley and what he's been able to do with this Arizona State high school hockey program, how this program has grown. We're playing games in Mullet Arena. That's a fantastic testament to the work he's done, and honestly to this whole entire state high school hockey program. I'm so grateful to be a part of this. And by the way, Easton, great call tonight in your first state championship.
I appreciate that. Big shoes to fill for me with Dylan Pescator. I'm pretty sure he's listening. If he is, how's it going, Dylan? Thank you for tuning in. But wouldn't be here without Dylan. I want to give kudos to him because he's built such an amazing platform for me to build off of, and hopefully in these next 4 years I'm able to build it even higher. But none of this would be possible without what Dylan did years ago.
And a big hats off to Dr. Ben and all his help in this production. This guy, I tell you what, this guy, I don't know how he travels with all this stuff. More importantly, I don't know how he hooks it up. There's a one-man band that's got all the tech that helps us get this show on the air, and he's been doing it for years. Dr. Ben, thank you so much for what you do for us to get this on the air.
And there's about 22 monitors below us. I don't know which one's which, but wouldn't be able to do any of these games without him. He's really the backbone of this whole organization for us, and why we were able to do these live streams, and extremely grateful for him. Dylan, yourself, Petey, I appreciate you joining me. It's been a pleasure being alongside you tonight as the medal ceremonies begin, but something special is being built here in AHSHA, and it's been a celebration of hockey all night long, and that will continue to be talked about for years to come.
Yeah, and like I said before, you just never know. You never know in AHSHA who's going to be that team this year. Desert Vista 1 year, it's Centennial, it's Pinnacle, it's Notre Dame, it's Mountain Ridge. And you know what? The parity is coming here. And you don't know who's it going to be next year. And you got to see who graduate, who's coming in. And that's what makes this so exciting year after year after year in Arizona. It's because next year it could be somebody different.
And the first time there's been 4 unique state champions across 4 years ever in AHSHA. There hasn't been 4 state champions across a 4-year span until this win from Notre Dame. Desert Vista in 2023, Centennial in 2024, Pinnacle in 2025, and now Notre Dame in 2026.
That's absolutely amazing. And that does talk about parity. That does give all of these teams hope in Arizona that might be them next year jumping around on the Mullet Arena ice.
And it's been proved that it can be any given year for any team. At this point, you look at Centennial in 2024. They were a last place team the year before, and then came in and won a state championship the year after. Mountain Ridge getting their medals, an unbelievable season for them. Back-to-back seasons, just falling short in the state championship, but this team will be back, and a new fire will be lit under them.
Yeah, and the legend of Notre Dame continues.
They get the champs hats passed out on the other side. Color changes every year, PD, and this year they went with what looks to be a bit of an army green. Last year was a tan color, but probably one of my favorite pieces of the state championship is the champs hats.
I gotta tell you, give me my state tournament moment. My son won a state championship back in 2017. And guess what? I wasn't watching it on YouTube streaming. I tell you that. I had a dad filming it on his iPad while I was on the road for work. And this has grown so much. And that's not even that long ago. It's not even 10 years ago how much this has grown and what a spectacle it has become. And this is absolutely fantastic. And you're right, those championship hats, I might have to see them if there's any sitting around the storeroom downstairs when this is over.
Looks like number couple extra down there on the bench for you, PD.
There we go.
Notre Dame going to be commended. The AHSHA Cup, one of the most beautiful trophies in high school sports. Looks just like the Stanley Cup.
And your name's on it.
My name's on it. Your name's
Yeah,
on
my
it.
name's on it.
And even looking, you talked about the girls for last year's Caden Wright, who might have a bid for that MVP stick sitting down on that table, gets his medal. Sanius as well, who had the final nail in the coffin with the empty netter. But you look back to last year, and it felt like the promotion kicked up a level. And somehow it kicked up a level this year, and this has turned into a whole event and a spectacle across the valley.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's only going to continue to grow. And if you missed out on today's championship, mark your calendar and be here next year, because the atmosphere in this building was fantastic. And I tell you what, the students really make it. They make it special. They were loud. They were boisterous. This was a lot of fun today, and it has been every year, and it just continues to grow and grow. I tell you, Notre Dame, fantastic job from the start of this season till the end of the season. This team led the standings all season long, wire to wire. Great season for Notre Dame. Coach Nelson, great championship by Notre Dame, and they're back on top of the Arizona Hockey Wolf.
And it felt like a team that simply wasn't going to be denied all season long. Nothing was going to stand in the way. You look at some of the guys who have been here for so many of those crushing losses that they went through, and Tate Nicky and Justin Kaplan, Roberto Gomez was on that squad. Brady Stallkamp played his freshman year, and those guys really spread the message to some of these newer guys like Max Harland, Harak, and Dylan Shane that they weren't going to go losing again.
Yeah, and that's what this program's about. And it's about getting those younger kids to understand what Notre Dame hockey is all about, what the expectations are, where the bar is set. And this is what the expectations are when Notre Dame starts the season. It's to be sitting and playing and winning in the last game of the season.
And not to mention an even more meaningful when their strength coach, Coach Terry Derry, was diagnosed with colon cancer over the break, and they've been playing the rest of the season for him, and that has been a clear message in the locker room night in and night out, and doing it in honor of him is an unbelievable homage to what he's going through and what this program stands for.
Yeah, this is a tight group, and this is one of those teams that you talked about how well supported they are by their school and the community in there in North Scottsdale. Big shout out to the Kaplans last night. They had a team dinner at the Kaplans' home last night with all of these kids, and obviously set the tone for what happened here today.
Tate Mickey gets his medal, and it was a long time coming for him as he gives his mom, team manager Stacy Mickey, a hug. And that feeling is just something that's indescribable, PD. It leaves you at a loss for words.
Yeah, it is, and it makes all of those early morning practice. This team practices before school. In the morning, they're up at 5 o'clock in the morning getting their practice time in. All of those hard early mornings to be able to celebrate a win together in the state championship is really meaningful for this Notre Dame group.
Waiting for the MVP from Notre Dame. Sponsored by Top Shot in Pure Hockey. The golden stick, which has become a recurring symbol every year in AHSHA. It's pretty beautiful. 26 saves, 1 goal allowed, a shutout in the semifinals. The backbone of this Notre Dame team. Nobody deserved this award more than the man in the blue paint, Caden Wright.
Yeah, and he showed up today. And I talked about the first 2 periods. He was swallowing pucks up. He left no rebounds. And honestly, he made it look easy through 2 periods. And then in the 3rd period, he was able to wane off the onslaught by Mountain Ridge, make those big saves late on the power play. He was solid from beginning to end, but it wasn't just tonight. It was in the semifinals where he pitched the shutout. And he's been solid all season long. 1 loss on the year for Caden Wright.
And now Jack Wilson going to head over and accept the AHSHA Cup from Kenny McGinley.
Exactly. Jack Wilson's a guy we didn't talk about a lot tonight, but you know what he did? He blocked shots again. None of those guys were done a little big shot blocks in the 3rd period. That's how a captain plays. That's how a leader plays. And that's one of the reasons this team is hoisting this trophy right now.
Years in the making for Notre Dame as they trot around the ice. Tate Mickey has his turn. But the Saints on games of 2026 and back atop of AHSHA once again. Photos still in store, all types of festivities to be had. I believe we're going to try and speak to Caden Wright after the conversations and celebrations are over here if we're able to. As things still continue, going to have to take it to the student section, which Petey is a little depleted from what it was. Caden Wright going to bring it over there, but still some Notre Dame faithful down there.
It's amazing. We've been so close the last couple of years. It's kind of heartbreaking. Finally going to do with the ice still standing. This means the world that we could have.
Everyone gets their turn with the cup, and 5-1 the final score with them. Gene Etter, and what an effort it was from this Notre Dame squad. All playoffs with their AAA players out the first 2 rounds. Able to rally and make it all the way here, and then put on a complete performance for all 3 periods tonight.
Yeah, they did. And we talked about a team win. It absolutely was a team win. Caden Wright was outstanding between the pipes. You look at how this team played in that 3rd period, sacrificing their bodies, getting in front of shots. It was a full, complete team effort.
And it looks like we are going to have Caden Wright downstairs at ice level as Mark gets him set up down there, the MVP of 2026. And senior goaltender for Notre Dame. Trying to put it on, and now Kenny McGinley talking to him, telling him to go over and talk to Todd Walsh after. Caden, can you hear us down there? Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. First of all, congratulations on the win. What a performance it was from you. How does it feel to call yourself and your team the state champions of 2026?
It feels completely surreal. I mean, I've been battling for this for ever since I started my high school career. So very surreal and an amazing feeling right now.
Caden, how were you able to keep your nerves, especially in that 3rd period when you saw the 5-on-3, pull the goalie 6-on-3, and you're able to hold the fort during that 2-minute power play?
I gotta tell you, I was pretty nervous, but I know my boys were there. You saw how many shots they blocked, and I knew they were there for me. I could make that save, and we pulled it out with the win. So that's what I got.
Final seconds tick down. You know you have the game in hand. You see the gloves in the air. Your teammates rush to the student section. Are there any words to describe that?
Absolutely amazing. I have never felt such a surge of adrenaline and amazement in my life. So just beautiful.
Caden, I want to talk about you again, your composure. I said through 2 periods, you look like you made this easy. You swallowed everything up, no rebounds. What does this mean to the Notre Dame Saints that came before you? That we've seen what has happened in the state tournaments here the last few times they made it. What does this mean for this Notre Dame program?
It means we finally broke the cycle. You got to win here, and just got to win, and we're going to keep rolling next year, hopefully. Here, we won it for all the boys before us, and that's what I'm doing it for.
All right, well, congratulations again, Caden. Outstanding performance for you all season, all playoffs run. Go celebrate with your team.
Hey, thank you.
Well, Petey, I mean, what a night it was at Mullet Arena. We can't describe the experience that all these kids get to have, all these fans get to have, and I think that's all we have here from Mullet Arena.
I do want to wrap this up by saying this is what hockey is about. And I know sometimes we get distracted by, what travel teams you're on or what level you reach or played for this team or that team. This is what matters. And I tell you what, this group of young men right now, this is what they're going to remember. It's going to be this game. It's going to be this moment. It's going to be this championship. And I do think that it's important that you put your high school's name on your sweater and you go and compete, not just yourself, not just your teammates, but your entire school. This is a testament to what Arizona high school hockey has built. And I'll say it again, this is a memory for these kids, no matter how far they go. If they're playing juniors or college, this is the moment that they will carry with them.
An unforgettable moment for Notre Dame on the 31st day of January in 2026. For myself, Easton, Stockford, Steve Peters alongside me, Dr. Ben on the sticks all season long. Couldn't do it without you. Mark Katowski down on the ice as our production assistant tonight. We wish you all a good night, where the final score is 5-1 and Notre Dame reigns kings of 2026.